Okay, so what's up, everybody? Thank you for coming to the channel. Thank you for supporting the channel. This supports me just watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me. Um, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You know what I mean? Hit the notification button so this way, whenever I post a new video, you guys will be notified. So this is gonna be the first video in my series that I kind of just call Girlfriends. Okay, now. Just because I call it girlfriends doesn't mean that every situation that I'm talking about was an actual girlfriend, whatever that shit means, okay? So I'm just gonna basically go through these videos and give my personal life experience with women and tell you the story. I'm not giving no advice. This is not an advice channel. This is just what happened to me when I did certain things. So you can take it for what it's worth. Like, hey, yeah, that happened to him too. Girls be doing that shit to him too. Or this worked out well. I should do like whatever you want to take from this, you take it. I'm just giving it. This is my story and I felt compelled to tell it. All right. So the best way to do this is to start from the beginning. The beginning. Okay. And when I mean the beginning, I mean the first time I felt I was like in love with somebody. Felt like it. Okay. So I'm not going to really be saying names, but I'm pretty sure I've alerted the people that I may be mentioning, and they'll know which story is theirs because every story is unique. Other than the end, I don't really know, but every story is unique because every girl's not the same, and everything was different, and I grew as I was going through these things. So basically, let's start at what I would call girlfriend number one. All right. So anyway, I got to be around, I'm gonna say 14, maybe 14, something like that. So, anybody that knows me knows that my father raised me, and my father was really, really strict on me being like outside in the street and shit like that. Like he was really on some like be in the house before the lights come on and shit like that. My father would make sure anybody that knows my pops know that he wasn't nothing to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's the kind of man I am because he raised me. But I used to have to be in the house. So I really couldn't be out in the hood and watching things and doing things and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, so through the course of like going outside in the daytime when I could, I meet this girl. I'm a virgin, never been with nobody before, whatever. So we start talking and blah, 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 blah. And we doing the dating thing back then. You know what I'm saying? We on the house phone, like, oh, I'm calling her house, she's calling my house, calling whatever, whatever. So I'm just like, yo, this is my girl. I'm feeling like I'm in love. And one big thing about my father was that he didn't give a fuck what I did as long as I was in the house. That was his philosophy. Not so much what the fuck I did. I can't murder a nigga and bring the body in the bathroom. Not like that. But, my father didn't have a problem with me. You got to remember, it was a very kind of macho, kind of male dominated, be tough, don't cry, type of generation that my father comes from, and that's like kind of passed down. So it was like the biggest thing with fathers back then, they was like, you better not be gay. You couldn't be gay back then. And it was like, that's why I commend a lot of brothers from my generation that were gay in the 80s, because it took a lot of strength to come out back then. Like now, I think a lot of people do it for the fad of it, even if they are, and if you are, no offense. But I think back then, the people that was coming out back then, because people were being killed and hunted. I think people still have discriminate against gay people, whatever the case may be. But back then, it was the peer pressure and your man, oh, you faggot and this and that. It was hard, to come out and be yourself. So my father's biggest thing was like, I don't give a fuck what you do, long as you ain't gay. That was just his way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? So I was, unlike a lot of people, I was able to have female company when I was like 14. Like literally, I could have female company in my room. My pops was like, just long as I know where you at and whatever, blase blah. Anyway, so she would come see me, like, had sex for the first time. Me, I had sex. I don't know if she did. Well, obviously, by the time I get to the end of the story, it wasn't her first time. So yeah, so that happens. So we having sex. So now this is really, I'm feeling like this is my girlfriend, whatever. So anyway, we ain't doing no real shit. All we could do is really go from one person's house to the other and have sex. Walk around the park, buy fucking Tootsie Rolls, whatever. So, yeah, we doing that. Little kid shit. So, everything's going smooth. One day I call her house, and she answers the phone, but it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's ever been cheated on, you know it's a vibe. You feel it in your gut. So, she answers the phone, but it's kind of dismissive, and it's like, we both young. She's maybe a year older than me or something like that. And so I got a vibe, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And she hung up. She ain't say too much. She just like, nah, I'm good. It's all whatever. She banged it on me kind of quick. Mm. So, yeah, I got a vibe, and I didn't feel good about the situation. I was in love, and I was a little not all there when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? So I called my man B. Shout out to you, B. Call my man B. I'm like, yo, now mind you, I ain't got no car, nothing like that. I'm not hustling. I'm a little broke nigga, whatever. My pops is taking care of me. So I call B like, yo, my nigga, come with me. Let's get on catch the bus with me. I got to ride to Stapleton, and I want to see what's up with my girl, whatever. So he's down. He's like, all right, come on, let's go. So I just go to the crib, unannounced, pop up, right? And I'm calling her, and she's not answering. And then I keep calling. And mind you, we using payphones, so I'm throwing quarter after quarter payphone type shit. And finally, she answers. She's like, what? I'm like, the fuck is going? I was like, yo, I'm in front of your building. I didn't go to the door. I'm in front of the building. Anybody that knows Stapleton Projects is like the balcony. You can see it's like no hallway. It's like kind of just open. So she comes out on the balcony, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is up? Bah, 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 bah. She's like, yo, she's yelling down, fuck her. And then behind her, now mind you, I'm about 139 pounds. I'm a little ass nigga, about 5'4", 139 pounds, this big. I look behind it, there's some dark skinned nigga, and he's fucking huge to me. This nigga's like this. But I'm in love. I'm like, fuck is that? I'm talking crazy. This nigga's way up 5 floors up, and I'm talking crazy. I'm like, yo, fuck that, come downstairs. And then B's looking at me like, nigga, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I'm in my feelings. They come downstairs. She comes downstairs with the nigga. She walks up to me. She's like marching up to me like, what the fuck you doing here? I don't go with you no more. I'm like, oh shit. And son is walking cool as could be. He's behind her. This nigga's about 6 feet tall, muscles all over the place, dark skin, not a mark on his face, 360 waves. I'm like, damn, I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, yo, I'm still in my field. What the fuck's going on? Like, yo, my nigga, like, I'll fight you right now. And he's looking at me like I'm a little nigga, like, yo, go ahead, nigga, like, whatever. Then she goes, yo, this is my husband. I'm like, husband? We like 15, 14. I'm like, husband? And I look at the nigga, and it was like, son was like, he didn't have to really say a word. She was doing all the talking. And she just cut me deep, like, boom. It felt like a knife was in my fucking back. I was like, oh, shit. And they just walked away and went back upstairs. And I was standing there in front of the building, like, feeling like a fucking jerk. So anyway, I'm fucking hurt. I'm walking down the yellow line, the middle of fucking Broad Street, not giving a fuck if I live or die. And my man B, shout out to you, B. B's like, yo, chill, come on, let's go. Like, we get back on the bus, we go home. I'm depressed and stressed like a motherfucker. So now, days is going by, months is going by. So now I'm in the hood. So him and her, they out there too. I don't think son is from Staten Island, but they were out there. So I used to be on the block. I would see them ride by on a scooter. She's on the back of the scooter, just living her best life. I'm on the block watching her ride by. I'm like, damn, shit's crazy. And I'm just dealing with it. It's hurting. Every day it's hurting. And then, life goes on. We keep moving on. And so when I do find out about the end of this story, this is when I have a firm belief in karma. And the end of that story would be that, I guess she had a kid by the dude, but I think someone's like a get money dude. I don't know really what happened. I can't really speak on it, but I'm from the stories that I was hearing, because people still were telling me, they was like, son got killed in a bank robbery or some crazy shit. I don't know. And I'm just speaking from what I heard. I don't know, if that's the case. But whatever the case may be, he is dead, or he did get killed or whatever. So end of the story was that, she cheated on me. She broke my heart. The nigga she left me for ended up dead. And I moved forward. So I don't know what y'all could take out of that story, but that was the first time that I ever was in love, and that was the first time I ever had my heart broke, and that was the end results of that, you know. And it kind of like changed me a little bit because as I go on in these videos, you're gonna see what I would call not the progression, but the digression, because I just became a nigga that didn't give a fuck, and I just was like, fuck bitches. Like, this is what my mindset was at that age, and it's scary to be that young and think like that because it's not good. But that's pretty much it. That's what happened. Please stay tuned. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. Girlfriend Part 2 is going to be coming in days.
Yeah, easy as I thought, niggas. I'm out of here.